What is photography? The art of practice of taking and processing photographs. That was the definition given in the Oxford Dictionary. Just the art of practice of taking and processing photographs. Photography is derived from the Greek words photos, that means light, and graphing, to draw. So the word was first used by the scientist Sir John F.W. Herschel in 1839. It is a method of recording images by the action of light or any rays or any radiations on a sensitive material. Okay, because this is very important. A light to draw. Okay, that is a method of recording images by the action of the light or related radiation. Here means any rays that comes in the form of light, even if it is not visible to the human eyes, that they meaning that as rays or radiations on a sensitive material. That is what they call it as photography. Graphy means to draw, photo means light. Simply, photography literally means drawing with the light. If there is no light, no scope for photography. And there are dozens, you see, if there is no light available, no, there is no scope or there is no job or there is no work for any photography. So photography means the main source is light. How aesthetically you are going to, how artistically you are going to draw using the available light, that is photography. How? With the help of an equipment, that is what the camera will help you to help you to draw the light, the photo, that is the light available in the nature or available in the ambience or surroundings. So once if you know the concept of photography, drawing with light, there are dozens of different types of photography. Some areas like a specialist, some areas require some specialist knowledge in scientific photography, but almost all photography involves the same basic principle. What is the basic principle for a photography? Clear, focused image through a lens and onto the recording medium. And as I said, no, there are different types of photography and there are different types of camera also. As I said, the camera will help you to record the light, to capture the light. If you want to say in a exact term is to capture the light. Camera helps you to capture the light. So the drawing means they mean it here as the aesthetical, artistical, how artistically you are capturing it. That we will see in the later classes. You see, professional photographers have a selection of cameras for different purposes. Okay, and you don't know there are a range of cameras are available. Range of cameras starting from a basic, what you say, whatever you have in your hand that is mobile as an amateur camera to the professional camera. Okay, that is what they call it as. You heard about this term DSLR. Okay, single lens reflex camera. If anyone got interested in that camera, they will own a SLR camera. And those days, the traditional photography uses film as the recording medium to record the captured image. And in modern photography, nowadays we are using the digital photography, which is an electronic process, which is getting recorded into the medium. So this medium, how it is captured and how it is recorded and all, we will see in the later classes. So in either type of photography is the basic process, as I said, clean, simple, clear, focused picture to be captured on the camera. Yeah, this will be an elementary level of the message. Anyhow, we should know the root meaning and root understanding of any technology. Okay, technology may be new. What they are doing nowadays are all the digital technology, DSLR, TLR, twin lens reflex camera, single lens reflex camera, any good technology. First of all, we should understand what is the concept, the root meaning. Okay, that will help you to learn a very what you say, to any level of technical knowledge. Okay, that's my policy and my style of what you say, learning. Okay, any technical or any technology, start from the scratch and try to find the what you say, the meaning of from its roots. If photography means what? Just drawing with light. If there is no light, there is no scope for photography. So, as I said, photography is the process of recording visual images by capturing the rays on a light sensitive recording medium. Photography as a both technical and creative way. Photography is a technical, the science of setting up the camera and recording medium to take images in a controlled way. The controlled way is the menu or the options or the features of any camera. One should learn to operate a camera. So that is the technicalities or the technology one should learn. In the creative, the art of composing good images to capture. So you should learn photography both parallelly, what you say, the creative side and also both the technical side. The controlled way means they how to control the technology or the techniques features available in the camera to capture the nature. That is the technicality skill that you have to acquire, and the creative skill is art of composing good images to capture. As I said, there are different types of photography. Some specialist or specialized areas are there. Different types of camera, and the traditional photography, those days recorded in a film medium, and the modern day photography, which recorded using the digital medium. Why photography? To capture moments and to share our perspective. That is more important for any photographer, for any artist. The creative skill, no, there's to even filmmakers. The filmmakers, they are sharing their own perspective or point of their own view towards any issue or to any message or to any story. Okay, that is there. That is one of the important skill for any artist or filmmaker, that creativity, no, to share your perspective. The camera will help you to share your perspective and to bring out creativity, to tell a story, to communicate or to convey a message or an idea or a story to the viewers, and to make everyone smile, which mostly. And the camera, the photography will take you to go beyond the reality. Okay, we will see how it will work. Okay, if you are capturing any, you see there are as I said, no, there are specialized photographies like macro, scientific photographies, no, which will help you to visualize, or which will help you to view beyond the reality. So the photography helps you to go beyond reality, and of course last, to earn money. Photography will definitely pay you a money to if you become a professional photographers. Photography requires only two skills, divided into two skills like technical skill, creative skill. Once you get acquiring these skills parallelly, creatively and as well as technically, no, then definitely you will become a professional. Technical, you have to be ready to take up to learn techniques. So both hand in hand, you have to develop your skills both technically as well as artistically. Okay, then sure you will become a professional photographer. The types of camera, as I say, no, there are different types of photography. The different types of photography we will see in some other class. Then we will have what you say, what are the different types of cameras that are available. So cameras can be divided into several major types. Although most cameras operate in roughly the same way, there are few notable differences. Okay, that differences helps to know what type of camera you are using. First of all, we should know what type of camera that we are using. For example, if you are using a mobile, what type of camera it is, and if you are using, as shown in the slide, if you are using these cameras, and which type these cameras belong to. Okay, and you have seen some other cameras in any events or weddings, so you should know what type of camera that is. Okay, and what is its strength and weakness. What are the strengths and weakness of different types of cameras? So there are several major types of cameras. Here I have listed only a few types to know about what is the type and what are the strengths and weakness. Here in the slide is just a point and shoot camera. They call it as compact camera. In some 20-25 years before, most of the homes, they used to have these sort of cameras for their personal use. So they offer no real adjustable camera settings, what we call it as technical camera settings, which are affordable. So these cameras are affordable, and these cameras are lightweight, easy to use, and just the name itself, point and shoot. Okay, they remind us the olden days, some 20-25 years before, how the families, they used to have these sort of cameras for their capturing their moments. The cameras are classified as generally not only cameras, any equipments like in the broadcasting in media industry, how it has been classified. They used to classify it as professional, amateur, and semi-professional. Okay, amateur type of amateur equipments maybe take it as camera, or even what is a video camera, or a still camera, or any device from the electronics. Amateur, professional, and in between is semi-professional. Especially if you take what you say the camera, how to find out the camera is an amateur camera or a professional camera or a semi-professional camera. It's very easy to distinguish. As I said here, in this point and shoot camera, no real adjustable camera settings. Most of the settings, it will be automatic. Okay, for example, to put it clear, as I said earlier, to camera is to capture a clear and focused picture. Two things are required: clear, what you say, with a focused picture, and with the clarity, appropriate lighting. Okay, these settings cannot be made manually. Okay, all these camera settings, if a camera is having all these settings in a automatic, as I said, point and shoot. Point your what you say, point the image, just click it. This is what the point and shoot. What you're doing with the mobile camera nowadays. All the other focusing, all the other what you say, the light control, everything has been done automatically, sensed, and it has been cleared. So those cameras, those type of cameras are the amateur type of cameras, amateur cameras. Okay, slowly the settings shift, transforming to what you say, manual mode. If you take a camera, you have to do all the adjustments manually, and if you are clicking a photograph, then it is professional. What is a professional camera? You are just learning the technicalities of focus, exposure, light control, everything. You are learning these skills. Then automatically you will become a professional. Where the camera that you are going to use manually with these cameras are the professional cameras. Okay, in between, some features automatic and some features manually. Like focus will be autofocus, and some exposure will be won't be automatically controlled. It will be manual control. So for partially manual and partially automatic will comes under the semi-professional type of cameras. Okay, amateur camera, semi-professional cameras, and professional cameras. To put it simple, to how to divide, differentiate is the camera settings: automatic and fully manual, professional. The point and shoot cameras. Okay, those days there were actually three type of point and shoot cameras were there: standard, zoom, and advanced. Yeah, the first one and the top is a standard camera where you can't zoom with the use of any manual mechanical adjustment with the lens. And the second one is a zoom compact camera where you can see zoom compartment, lens compartment. They have a better zoom lens installed than the standard. So they it won't have an interchangeable lens as nowadays what DSLRs are having. No, they will remove the lens and they will attach any lens up to any focal length. Okay, don't worry about this technical word, focal length, these things and all. We will see in the next class. Okay, there won't be any interchangeable lens. It's a fixed lens, movable lens, and they do have automatic, even they do have automatic exposure settings and manual options in those camera. So that is zoom compact lens and some advanced compact lens. Third picture, it is an advanced compact lens where it has the full control of manual settings to take up a picture. The left side of the slide, you can see how a camera works. It's just a basic diagram. The light, as I said, no, to capture the light. Just the light falls into the camera lens and it hits the recording medium. Okay, any sensor or recording medium. And above this recording medium, there will be a viewfinder. Viewfinder is just to help what is in front of the camera to view it. Point and shoot cameras is there are two different things where viewfinder sees an image in a separate angle and the recording medium which captures the light recording medium sees the subject in a different angle and the viewfinder sees the image in a different angle. So the difference between this viewfinder image and the lens image results you the parallax error. Term parallax error means those days how the cameras were used. The difference between the viewfinder image and the camera lens image is known as parallax error. This is what those days the camera, how it did the point and shoot cameras they used. The next is the mirrorless camera. Mirrorless cameras, actually the word mirrorless indicates that the camera does not have a reflex mirror that we will see. What is the role of a mirror in a camera, inside a camera? So the mirrorless camera does not have a reflex mirror or optical viewfinder like a conventional digital SLR, single lens difference, but an electronic viewfinder will be there which displays what the camera image sensor sees. So, okay, what the camera image sensor is seeing the subject, no, the electronic display will show you the light passes through the lens directly to the digital sensor and the display, the sensor will send the message to the display what is has been reflected on the sensor. Point and shoot, it's a professional and a mirrorless camera. Now most of the people they use most popular type of general purpose camera for any enthusiast or any professional is this single lens reflex camera. They used to say SLR. You heard about this term, no? DSLR, digital SLR. This type of camera have a movable mirror behind the lens. You can see this is the mirror, movable mirror behind the lens, which reflects an image through a 5-sided prism. You see above side 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what they call it as pentaprism. 5-sided prism, a pair of mirrors onto a glass screen, which is shown to the viewfinder. This means the photographer sees exactly the same image that will be exposed on the recording medium. So this is the recording medium. Okay, the viewfinder. I'm repeating. So this type of camera have a movable mirror behind the lens, which reflects an image to the through the 5-sided prism, pentaprism, a pair of mirrors to the glass screen, that is the viewfinder, where this will help the photographer sees exactly the same image that will be exposed on the recording medium. How this will help? I think you have seen a click button, no? That is what they call it as in professionally in photography, they call it as shutter button. When you press the shutter button, the main mirror here, no, it will be flipped out of the way. So the light passes straightly, light passes in the second below image where you can see when you press the shutter button in that camera, the main mirror will flip away to allow the light passes to the recording medium as pictured below. See, as you do this, you notice the image will briefly disappear in the viewfinder. There is also the familiar sound of what we call it as camera click. Do you understand now what is the single lens reflex? So the above pentaprism is the single lens, what they call it as. It's a lens reflecting. So if you press the shutter button, the mirror will go away and the image or subject in front of the lens will be captured to the recording medium, and it will be not visible on the viewfinder. So the advantage of this particular system is what we call it as accuracy. As in the previous point and shoot cameras and compact cameras, what we have faced is the what you call it as the parallax error, the difference between the viewfinder image and the lens image, that is has been eradicated here. What you see is going to be recorded on the recording medium. So if the image you see through the viewfinder is not exactly the same as the image on the recording medium as in the viewfinder cameras, so this help you for the better composition. So the SLR cameras parallax error doesn't happen, and it will work with different lenses that we will see in the later classes about the lenses. So there are also disadvantages of this system also. SLR cameras are a little bulkier than viewfinder cameras, point and shoot cameras, viewfinder cameras. SLR cameras tend to be noisier than other type of physical mechanism. So SLR cameras are little bit complex. As I said, there are many technicalities which is little bit complex, more chance of breaking down. Many disadvantages. For most people, SLR is an excellent choice for taking a high quality photograph. So I have given only 3 types of camera, starting from the amateur, semi-professional, and professional level. So you can, most of them will go for a choice of this DSLR single lens cameras. That's it, not the type of cameras. There are many types of camera. If you take the history of history of photography, the first camera obscura, which is the camera which the dark room has been taken as a camera which captured the image, and the pinhole camera, conventional one. What we in the present is the SLR camera, and I have presented this point and shoot and compact cameras because of you have been exposed to these type of cameras because of that reason. Then moving to components of a camera. Before taking up a camera, we should know what are all those components and what is the component is for about. Then only you will let your fear to take up any camera, because many will be hesitating to handle a DSLR camera because they don't know which button or which option, which menu is for what. So let me see the major components of a camera, which is mostly likely to be similar to all sort of cameras like Canon, Nikon, Sony, Pentax, or any type of any model, any brand. First, let's look at what the cameras have in common. Except for some specialist type of cameras, all cameras have these following basic components. First one is the body. What is shown in the slide is the body, a light, tight compartment to house the recording medium, internal parts of the camera. So the purpose of the body is made up of a high grade plastic or sometimes metal. The purpose is to make which holds all other integral parts of the camera, and the purpose is to give protection to the delicate internal parts of the camera. So that such a way it has been made, high grade plastic or metal. So this is the body of a camera. And the next is the lens. A lens is a transparent element to focus light rays onto the recording medium. So which they call it as lens assembly. Okay, lens means not only a single lens. In total they call it as a lens assembly, which consists of several layers of lenses that we will see later. Several layers of lenses will be inside this mechanism of varying properties, which provides you the zoom, focus, and distortion correction. I have given you three technical terms we will learn in later classes: zoom, focusing, and distortion correction. So what are these terms in photography that we will learn later? So the lens is not only a single lens, which is a lens assembly, which consists of several assembly layers inside this mechanism, which provides zooming, focusing, and distortion correction, which are mechanically interconnected and too easily adjustable. As you have seen, the camera lens are used to it's an adjustable lenses, okay, to zoom in and zoom out. That is one of the important component of a camera lens. The next one is shutter release button. See the arrow mark there. So this is the trigger of the camera, where you used to say the click the camera, no, clicking the camera. So this is the trigger of the camera. You see, if you click this shutter button, it will make that mirror to go away, and it will help to record it on the recording or the image sensor, or the what we call it as it generally as recording medium. In some, you see, take a note, in some professional cameras like DSLR cameras, no, if you half press this shutter button, no, it will automatically focus. It, what you say, it makes you to auto focus the image or subject in front of the lens. Okay, you can try if any of your relatives or if any of your neighbors or friends have the DSLR cameras, no, certain cameras. If you compose a frame and if you just don't click it fully, just off press it, no, it will make it autofocus. But if to put it very simple, no, if you're taking a mobile phone and showing it to some place, opening a camera and showing it to some place, it will take some microseconds to autofocus the subject in front of the camera, no, mobile camera, no. The same way, if you half press the button, it will make some autofocus. Then your full press will initiate the image capturing process. Half press and full press, that you have to know. When in a shutter release button, in most cameras, half press will make you the autofocus, and full press will capture the image. So in a simple, it's a shutter is a method of controlling how long the recording medium is exposed to the incoming medium. As I showed the picture, no, the recording medium, how long that medium is exposed to the incoming light. Note down these lines. The shutter is a method of controlling how long the recording medium is exposed to the incoming light to the image sensor. The another important common component of a camera is the mode dial. See left side, no, mode dial, which contains several symbols which allows you to select a shooting mode. There are many options are there which will help you to select a shooting mode. Even if you become a professional, no need to get a help from other modes. There is a M, that is a manual mode. It's a choice between one of the predefined settings. So that is the predefined settings has been mentioned in different modes. So there is the mode dial where you can find in any camera. This is one of the important component of a camera, and this is what they call it as view finder, a small viewing window which shows the image that camera's image, what the camera's image sensor sees. It's just an optical viewfinder. Optical is just a lens-based optical viewfinder which shows the actual image in front of the camera through this peephole or through mirrors. Or some cameras, it is an electronic viewfinders are there. The photo displayed here is an optical viewfinder. Put it simple, a way to see the image that is to be captured. The role of a viewfinder is to a way to see the image that is to be captured. The other important component of camera is aperture ring. Forget about what is aperture and all, that we will see later. There is one ring in the, what you say, the lens part, which is very important, which is called as aperture ring. Even brief about aperture. Aperture is a method of controlling how much light reaches the recording medium. How much light should reach the recording medium. That is what they call it as aperture ring. Aperture. This aperture ring will help you to select an aperture opening. As I said, now how much to reach, now it will help you to open the aperture ring. So it can be controlled electronically through the body. The numbers mentioned here are the aperture values. Usually, which is mentioned, which is measured in the terms of f-stops. This is what they call it as focusing ring. This is also one of the important component of a camera. Is found in the lenses of a DSLR camera. This is done to manually focus the lens. To manually focus the lens to get a clear focused picture which is in front of the camera. Then LCD display. So in some compact cameras, these LCD, there won't be two different viewfinders and LCD display. In some compact cameras, no, LCD display acts as a viewfinder. This is a small screen in the back of the camera which can be used for framing or reviewing the recorded pictures. So which will help you to review the captured images. There is LCD display. As I said, in some point and shoot and compact cameras, the LCD display will be act as some viewfinders, and this is flash. Most of the cameras comes with the built-in flash on the body of most compact and DSLR cameras. It can be either fixed or we can, it's like a flip type camera. It provides instantaneous burst or bright light to illuminate the scene, which is a very poor in light. As we said, no, camera is, a photography is just drawing with light. If there is a poor light, you can use this additional source of light to capture the image, to draw the light over there. And this is the battery compartment for any DSLR cameras, it will be there. So holds the batteries. Yeah, depending on the camera model, this varies in size and shape. And there is one more important component is the memory card slot. So there are different types of memory cards are there that we will see once we get into the recording medium. No, there are different memory cards are there. What type of memory card that you are using in your mobiles? SD. There are many size. What they call it as a micro SD card, which is very small, where can be used to insert in the mobile phones. That is a micro SD card and SD card. And as you said, no, some bigger size of cards. That is also SD card, which is used for this what you say, DSLR cameras. There are SD cards, HD and CF cards. SD is standard definition, high definition, ultra high definition. Or what is CF cards? Or compact flash cards? Mostly we use SD cards for image capturing. Even in your mobile, micro SD cards. Even in your mobile, even what you say, for DSLR cameras, this is the bigger size SD cards. Only the recording speed varies. If you Google it and see SD cards on the Amazon or any websites, no, it will put like at 10 Mbps, at 12 Mbps, version 3, version 2.0. Like means no, the Mbps, if Mbps increases, the capturing images quality will get increased. It will capture a greater quality picture. The micro SD cards which we are using in our mobile phones are having a lesser recording speed of images, which is a less Mbps, where these professional cameras, they will go for higher Mbps, 90 Mbps, 192 Mbps. Flash mount. So this is what they call it as for external flash. If one is going for an external flash, the standard holder with the contact plates for optional flash accessory. If you want to have an optional flash accessory, no, you can have this. You can fix it in this flash mount. Usually they call it as hot shoe. And built-in microphone, the camera body, where you can see the top right corner, some 5 dots, which is a built-in microphone, which will capture sound. This microphone is an inbuilt microphone, and most of the cameras will support to have have to connect an external microphone also. Button below this built-in microphone is the lens release button. As I said earlier, when I was telling about the point and shoot compact cameras, no, there is no option for interchangeable lens in point and shoot and compact cameras. But when it comes to SLR and professional cameras, no, we can interchange any sort of lenses, any type of lenses. There are various types of lenses. So this lens release button will help you to release the lens and detach the lens and can be attached. So this button is used to release the lens from the body of the camera. So this is an external view of a DSLR. As we have covered most of the things in the components like hot shoe, zoom ring, focus ring, a finger wheel is here. No, see here in this finger wheel. Finger wheel help you to see the menu to change the settings in the camera. LCD data screen, which will display what settings that you have fixed in your camera. Here's jog wheel, back LCD panel, the mode dial button. So this is a general external view of a DSLR camera, and this is the internal view. As I said, no, this is the path of the light. The aperture tells you how much light to pass into the camera image sensor. Okay, so this is the aperture over here, and as I said, the shutter speed, shutter, and this slanting is the mirror. As I said, once you click the shutter button, the mirror will go away. Okay, this is the mirror where the lens will get reflected, single lens. So this is the lens which moves. As I said, no, lens is a mechanism, lens assembly. This lens will be mechanically connected to move for, and here the focusing screen. This will help you to focus the image, and this is the viewfinder. This is the pentaprism, which have 5 faces. I have given you just a, what is the introduction, a brief idea about what is photography, why to do photography, and what are the different basic types of camera can be classified, and what are the different components in a camera.